Welcome, everyone. I'm Scott Noons. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at Mr. Noons Teach. Thanks so much for checking this broadcast out. Wanted to take a few moments and just kind of let you know what's coming on my end. I've been a little bit absent, been working on things behind the scenes, and like all of you, have been experiencing many challenges in life due to COVID 19. So, um, first things first, if you ever need anything, do not hesitate to reach out. You can always tag me in a message, slide me a direct message, or just reach out on social media and I'll see what I can do to help out. I love helping educators. That's something that I'm definitely committed to and continuing to commit to. And in terms of work life balance, working towards just doing what I love more and more, devoting more time towards my family, and also devoting more time towards what I love, like broadcasting, podcasting, sharing out tech tips and tricks and tools. I absolutely love ed tech. So whenever there's a new tool or a new integration, I have to get in, play with it, and see how it works. So I've been doing a lot of cool things with Canva lately. Expect some of those to pop up over the next several months here as we start winding down with 2021 and get ready to start anew, hopefully, in 2022. I always like to really jumpstart the year. If you can remember back to my series I did with Vernon Wright, Tara Martin, Tisha Richmond, and Jake Miller, we got together for a little panel of sorts right at the end of 2020 to prep us for 2021. And we talked about tips and tricks on how to not only survive but thrive. And a lot of those things did work, but some things they didn't work so well. For example, my fitness goals it definitely fell by the wayside. I did manage in 2 months, or probably less than 2 months, maybe a month and a half, to crank out over 10,000 push-ups. So I was pretty happy with that. So met that goal. That was my goal for the year, and I met it in a year and a half. So crushed that one. But then there were other ones. I forget the exact date I started, somewhere in February. But then I had set the goal of May 4th to have 50,000 words written. Now, I did write a bunch, and one day alone, I think I cranked out over 5,000 words, and I was really proud of that. I was on track, and life, work happens, right? And that balance gets disrupted, and it's harder now than ever amidst the pandemic. I know a lot of people out there are hurting. A lot of people lack the support that they want and need, and it's tough to say no, or you're saying no to more things. Maybe social media, maybe listening to podcasts, broadcasts. Maybe you're like me and you're investing more time in friends and family as much as you can, and safely, of course. So I just wanted to share that failure. I didn't reach my goal. I am working on a book with my great friend, Natasha Rochelle. She is amazing. So amazing. And right when you open that book, I guarantee you're going to love it because it's me talking about her. And we have not only a great story to share, but some great ed tech tips and tricks in there for you, and frameworks, pedagogy, the whole package. So we're working on that. We still have a few chapters to go, but that's in the works. So mum's the word on that. You're hearing that first right now. And then I guess just getting right into season 2. So I've been delayed for a bit with getting episodes out. I've been collecting some, and I intended to release them over the summer, but it never was really good. And just thing after thing came up. I'm sure many of you can relate to that. So I'm like, okay, I need to just really etch out a plan, etch out some time, and really do that. And I finally have that ready to go. So I have some episodes in the bank. And talk about failing. Forgot to turn off my phone before I started podcasting, right? Or broadcasting. rather. But have some great guests. So some I want to share out: Brian Carpenter, Paul Gordon, Jesus Huerta, Ascension Reyes, Holly Clark, Barbara Bray, Jared and Kate Hamilton. So season two is really going to focus on partnerships and collaboration because I firmly believe we're better together. That's what's gotten me through the pandemic. Anything I've been able to do, it's because I've partnered with someone else. So I've drawn inspiration from somebody, helped somebody, they've helped me. It's been great. I could almost tell you a different story every single day of the pandemic, and it it's both gut wrenching and heartwarming at the same time. My heart goes out to any of you who are in the boat like me, where you have lost a family member. Maybe you have lost a friend during this time. My wife lost her uncle at the onset, and then recently lost a friend. Have a friend that is not doing well. I asked for prayers for that friend. He's still not doing well. So prayers for my buddy would be greatly appreciated. He's got 3 kids, a loving wife, and he's an awesome, awesome guy. And I guess it really hits home for me because he's Latino like myself. We're about the same age. Just we have so many things in common. And then we've been friends for about 15 years, and we've kind of raised our kids alongside each other, and our wives are, like best friends. So it's been tough, but my case sadly is not unique, and I know that, and I share it just in the hope that we can come together in that spirit of just sharing and talking about future guests here. I'm going to share this. Barbara, sharing and praying deep here in the heart of Texas. Hopefully, she doesn't mind me sharing. She shared it, so I'm going to share. She lost her lovely little brother, Mips, as he was affectionately called, and she has a great blog article all about Mips. Definitely check it out. We're going to be having Barbara on the show at some point. I told her once I kind of settle in and can kind of get back on track there. But ideally, season two, I want to get people coming together in pairs and talking about how they're either collaborating with each other locally or maybe a team. So the Richmonds, Russ and Tisha, have also agreed to be on. So I want to get them on, trying to get John Meehan and Michael Matera on too, with the great work that they're doing. And as Barbara's saying, yeah, she's heartbroken, and I was heartbroken reading her blog too. I felt such a connection. It's amazing how stories can really bring us together, help us really be empathetic and put ourselves in somebody else's shoes. It takes me back to the classroom just a year and a half ago when I'm teaching about To Kill a Mockingbird. That's a line right there. I still remember page 33 on my copy. Atticus Finch talks about, you never know a man until you've walked in his shoes. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. The exact quotes escaping me. But I have those guests all ready to go, and working on getting them for season two. So expect in the next week an episode to drop. Let me know what kind of contest you want. So I've been put in the position through great folks in my PLN to be able to run a couple contests. What kinds of contests are going to help educators out? That's what the goal is with education today. It's to share stories, to inspire, to collaborate, but at the end of the day, to really bring people together and help educators become better versions of themselves. And that starts with me. That's me included all the way. I'm always striving to be better. And whenever I'm working with somebody, helping someone, I'm always trying to help them be not their best self as I see it, but really helping them meet their own goals and fulfill their aspirations for life. And I try to inspire with creativity and establishing a positive climate culture. And I'm going to just kind of go wherever that leads me, and really try and help institutions and educators around the world really provide a more positive climate and culture. And it starts here with the podcast and with those in the community. And Barbara shares stories can be so healing. Absolutely. And talking about, what's coming up, healing, PLN. I wanted to share out this great book that I got from Jennifer Casa-Todd, Raising Digital Leaders. Now, when I first got it, I thought, do I really need this? Like, I'm an ed tech coach. I got this. I know tech. I had my own graphic design business. When I was 12, I started as a freelancer. And then when I was 14, I had 3 people working for me. So do I really need this? I think I got this. And instantly, right when I got into this book and I'm seeing who wrote the foreword here, I'm like, okay, you got Merv here. He's great. I first connected with Merv 2015. He put on a local training. I was able to go, and it was phenomenal. It just let me know what students were really into and what they're talking about. Sometimes we think we know, but we don't always know. And that can kind of scare us, right? And this book is really not to scare you away or to be like, hey, you got to put your kids in this type of program or do that or give them phones or hook them up to social media or engross them in tech. No, it's all about balance and trying to remember, yeah, I did mark it. So this is probably my favorite section in the book, where she's talking about 3 different parent types. So you got the brick wall, the jellyfish, and the backbone parent. And I reflected deeply on this and I realized I'm not really a jellyfish, but sometimes, you know what, I can be a grumpy, hardy brick wall. And I don't necessarily want to do that. So this book has given me some great tools, some tips, some tricks, some conversation pieces to dialogue with my wife and with my kiddos. And I have one that is getting ready for junior high right there, right? Everybody's got a cell phone. What are you doing? I've been having those types of conversation with friends that also have teenagers, have kiddos about that same age, and we're all at different places. Some of us allow it, some of us don't. I don't right now, and I think for us, I'll still hold off on the phone. But where I've lightened up and eased up a bit is one of the announcements I wanted to make today on the broadcast was I'll be presenting Fall Q, and that's October 23rd and 24th. And on October 24th, I believe at 11 a.m. for that session, my son and I are going to be doing a presentation together. It'll be his first presentation, and it's going to be on social media. It's going to be out there. I've worked and been kind of a brick wall, right, protecting him. Like, oh, I'm going to shelter him a little bit from this, but I feel like that's a safe place, a safe way to kind of get out, showcase his talents, and kind of put him in the driver's seat. It's going to be a really cool session. I'm going to quickly talk about the teacher side of things, how 3D printing works, how to start up a program, the benefits, showcasing how you can actually offset the cost by making different materials for your class, for your school, and selling those items or replacing things you would normally buy. And so you're saving money there. All those different types of things. And then I forget the exact title of the talk or the presentation, but it's something like, it's so easy that a 5th grader can do it. So really anyone can do it. You just need the dedication, the interest, and the drive to 3D print. And I'm going to let him tell his story and give his tips and tricks, and it's going to be mostly a big open Q&A. We'll walk through how to get started, how to do your first print, how to set up your printer, make some recommendations for the novice and for the intermediate user, but really just let the guests come in and blast away their questions, and I'll be there to support him and he wanted to do it. We double checked with mom, and hey, we're there. So if you're at a point where you're kind of questioning those things and you want some research based tips, tricks, evidence to support your thinking or to give you some new ideas, I definitely recommend Raising Digital Leaders by Jennifer Casa-Todd. I'm so blessed to have met her at Fall Q 3 years ago. So the timing is so perfect. I'm looking at my little list here. I have an unboxing here. Been wanting to do this. I got this in last week. Or I guess it's like an unbagging. Trying to block my address here. My Mr. Noons Teach sticker, which by the way, if you want one, it's the same as the logo there. Just send me a message, send me a DM, and let me know where to send it, and I'll get it out to you. So this is from Wakelet. So I love getting this Royal Mail from the UK. I think I know what it is, but let's see here. So I'm a Wakelet ambassador. I use it a lot for research and portfolio building. I really like it for that. I like it over Padlet, especially because it's free. Padlet's not a bad little program by any means. I use that a lot in our district. We pay for that. But I just like that Wakelet's free. And you got Tisha Poncio over there leading the charge with the community now. It's just even more amazing. I think knowing Tisha, I'm just that much more about Wakelet and supporting what they do. And the whole crew has just been amazing. I jumped on the Wakelet wave 2018, actually at Fall Q again. So Fall Q 2018 was a big one. So we got this nice Wakelet ambassador shirt. I'm so just grateful and honored. And I think this is my second year being an ambassador. I was in the 5th wave, so I didn't make it in the 1st wave like Laura Steinbrink. But in Randall Sampson, so shout out to them, amazing educators. If you're not following them, follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. They're on those for sure. And then I love just the attention to detail, right? You know, who has time to do that? Even just write a name on the card. I think about that with my own kiddos, my own family, everything I have going on. And of course, you know, I'm loving the new swag right in the Wakelet wave. Have some sweet stickers. That's another thing I want to start doing. I'm doing a presentation with my buddy Steve Martinez. He's a local ed tech leader. He was Central California Q's Emerging Teacher of the Year. So congrats to him. I got that award in 2020 and he got it in 2021. So super cool that we both got that. We're going to be presenting on PBL and cross-curricular activities vertically and horizontally in the classroom. So he teaches social science. I taught ELA, and we worked together to build up different PBL assignments that align with various standards. So mine tackles ISTE standards, my ELA standards, Common Core standards, and then professional standards as well that I got from a series of internships that I did, I don't know, 3-4 years ago during the summer. I did back-to-back internships for a couple of years in the summer, gave up about 40 hours of my time to kind of get some insight from local businesses. And one was Job Corps of America. So it had a really wide reach, and I really developed this idea from that. So basically 4 C's is at the heart, and then stacking different frameworks, UDL, PBL, inquiry, and really building that up. And then you get to bigger summative projects, and then talking about how you can bring in the community, not just the community at large, but bring in other teachers, other classes. And he's just gone off. He has this huge econ project. So we're going to be talking about that right after I present with my son on the 24th. And then speaking of Wakelet, I'm going to be talking about Wakelet and Flipgrid on the 23rd. I think at 11. I would have to double check for Fall Q. I'm looking at my list of things here. Oh, coming up tomorrow. I'm so excited, so pumped for this. One of my favorite programs right now to use, and they just had a bunch of updates that they announced at their Connect conference. Little drum roll. Cami Connect was the conference, and I'm doing Cami Chat tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So about right now. So if you're watching right now, tomorrow, make sure that you're heading over to um, Twitter and using hashtag Cami Chat, and make sure to follow Cami on Twitter at Cami App. So Kami and then the word app. Great little tool. So much more than a PDF editor. What I really liked, and this transition, thanks to Catlin Tucker, saved me hours. I used to take about 18 hours grading essays. And then from Catlin Tucker's blog, Laura Randazzo, and she had some videos on YouTube. She has a Teachers Pay Teachers store that I got some good things from as well. You know, I know a lot of that's kind of iffy, right? But she did have some legit original materials that I was able to use. And had some discussions about grading on her YouTube channel that were greatly beneficial. I started using Google Docs to save common annotations and student feedback. So, okay, comma splice. I would create a hotkey, and I would do hashtag and then comma, something I wouldn't typically type. And then in the comment, it would put, oh, comma splice. And then I might even put a link to a resource, or we followed a specific way of formulaic writing called T-Bear. That's what the department and the school had adopted. So every English teacher had to teach T-Bear. We all put our own little spin on it, but in our PLC groups, we were able to come to a consensus of how we were going to teach it, the elements, all the pieces that need to be in there, and evidence, for example, like how you're going to showcase your evidence. That way, when we swapped students or they went up vertically to the next grade, we were good. And then horizontally, the history department or social science department knew what we were doing. Science knew as well. And then they would help reinforce what we were doing with T-Bear, especially with, giving a claim, citing evidence, and a counterclaim and things like that. And those ladies helped me, because with those shortcuts, I was able to, not have to spend hours upon hours just writing the same comments over and over again. I could do these quick hotkeys. And now that whole big long explanation just to tell you, now Cami has that ability. You could save those notations and you could take them all away. So that's pretty cool. And actually, the chat is going to be centered around my favorite thing: relationships. People matter to me so much. If I were isolated, like completely isolated without tech, I would not be doing well. That is for sure. I need people in my life. I love people, and I truly want the best for everyone I know, love, and care about, and need. I just have a genuine desire and a love. That's kind of, one of my superpowers is caring about people, uh, and trying to just help them out when I can. So, despite the pandemic, I've still been able to do that. It's been a little tricky, but it's been neat to be challenged and to come up with new ways, or check in, and always meeting new friends and trying to check in with some older friends. It's easy to do that, especially with the algorithms the way they are. So if you haven't heard from a friend in a while, make sure to search up their name and check out their stuff. That way, the algorithm will still, for whichever social media platform you're on, will kind of re-up that. That way, their content will continually show up in your feed. It's really easy to kind of lose tabs on somebody, especially once you start following more and more people and growing that professional learning network. Some people may kind of taper off. I am working on creating a list of different professionals and kind of the relationship we have. Like, oh, maybe we have an ed tech relationship, or maybe like a church type relationship, or maybe it's a combination, or we have kids the same age. Kind of categorizing it that way, I know like who to reach out to for what. And normally I keep it in my head, but it's nice to just kind of have it in a nice little list. And then I know where, if I'm visiting a state, that's really nice. Then I could be like, oh, okay, these 10 educators. Like if I'm visiting Texas, I could be like, okay, Jamie Donnelly, I'm visiting my buddy James. I'm going to message Carl Hooker. I've never met him, but let's see if he's down to, grab a coffee or something if he has a free time. Or my buddy Gabe, got a couple buddies named Gabe. Yeah, so and I could just go on and on. So sorry, Jamie Hedrick, right? Andrea, I could go on. So many friends in Texas, right? But having a list kind of lets me know. So when I'm going to different conferences like TCEA, I can make a point to go see those friends. Another big thing, October 12th. Whether you're working, not working, have PD, have training, check out Global Maker Day at globalmakerday.com. Even if you don't feel like you're a creator, innovator, or maker, check it out. Take a look, attend. If you are a maker, creator, not really sure, but you want to see, we're still accepting applications. So head on over, check it out. Jamie Donnelly has done a fantastic job with that. I think I've checked it out the last 2 years. I connected with Jamie at Fall Q 2018 in a session she was joining virtually with Tisha Richmond, Mandy Freilich, sorry, and I'm blanking. Jennifer Casa-Todd, right? So Jennifer, and I think Katie Powell. I can't remember. There's one more that joined us virtually. I'm going to call it Pandemic Brain, but that is going to be great. I'm going to be talking about 3D printing, and I'm on the fence. I think I might give away a 3D printer. So if you want to get a 3D printer and get some support with how to put it together, how to get it going, let me know if that's a good idea. Should I do a session on 3D printing and give away a 3D printer? I think that would be really cool. But really, once again, is that what teachers need right now? Or do you need something else? Do you just need an Amazon gift card so you can clear the list, right? So it definitely helps me if I hear from you. And if you would like to be a guest, definitely let me know. Drop your request in the comments. You can head over to Twitter and let me know at Mr. Noons Teach that you would like to be on the show. And usually if I don't know somebody, what I'll do is I'll try and set up a little phone call and kind of get to know them a little bit, because it's highly relational. I really don't like to have people on the show that I don't know. So first I'll try and get to know the person, and then make sure that it's a good fit for me and for the audience. And, in most cases it is. So that's really exciting. And yeah, stay tuned for season 2. I definitely want some feedback for who you want to have on, and get some feedback for the episodes that do come out. So stay tuned for that. Episodes will be dropping within the next week here. So I'm really excited. Thanks for tuning in today. And I wish everybody a very blessed evening tonight. Thanks for tuning in. And I'm Scott Noons. You can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook at Mr. Noons Teach. Thanks, everyone. Have a great evening. I appreciate you.